San Diego was once the world's tuna capital. In the 1950s, the industry generated $65 million for the local economy. Today, boats are catching 50% more fish than 50 years ago, while fish populations have declined by 90%, according to some. This week, environmentalists and the fishing industry grappled with what should be done to protect our oceans and fishery profits. Meetings were held in Long Beach to decide at what level coastal waters off Southern California should be protected from fishing, but a decision was delayed until next month. Here's Bruce Resnick of San Diego Coastkeeper on why he supports establishing marine protected areas.
We're losing our fish populations all over the coast of California, all over the country, all over the world. 90% of the big fish are gone over the last 50 years. And even those fish that are being caught are about 45% smaller. So we're losing the older species. And we really face a tipping point. You know, a lot of people in the environment are very familiar, and they talk about the tipping point with climate change, that if we don't do something soon, we're going to reach a point of no return with climate change. The exact same thing can be said of the ocean. If we don't reverse these trends now, we don't have a lot of time. We are going to see drastically declining and collapsing fisheries all over the world. There isn't going to be a fishing industry in California, in Southern California, and San Diego, and it's really going to have pretty profound impacts on the way we live as Americans and the way we live on this planet.
We contacted members of the local fishing industry for comment, but all were attending that public meeting in Long Beach. Okay, so the Marine Protection Act, Marine Life Protection Act, was established 10 years ago. Why is it taking so long to establish these marine protected areas?
Well, it's an area that brings out a lot of emotions on both sides between the environmental groups and the fishing industry. And what's interesting is the fishing industry in San Diego that we're talking about that would be impacted if even the most severe regulations are put into place is, you know, maybe $5-6 million. So it's not a big industry in the scheme of things, but it's an industry that people, you know, the people who are involved with it really, really care about.
But the method of establishing protected zones, it's been shown to work around the world, Tony. Mm-hmm. So why is it that the fishing industry is so opposed to it?
Well, I think you've got two groups of people. You've got the environmentalists and you've got the fishing industry, and they both are standing on their 3 square inches of virtue. Both see themselves as the real Americans protecting our heritage. I'm not against some sort of protection. My colleagues in LA that cover this kind of thing say our fishing industry has been overfishing for some period of time. But I would urge, move it slow. This is when government really gives me the willies, when it starts to say, you can't be profitable, private business. I'm going to put you out of business for a greater good. I think you ought to move real slow and be sure it's necessary, and then maybe have some sort of sunset clause to pull back the protections when they're no longer needed.
That's slow. I mean, it's taken 10 years even to have these meetings. Isn't that slow enough for you?
No, not really. Not when you're talking about, as some of the fish industry folks say, putting them out of business. I'm for moving slow on this, and I'm for also, as I say, let's put some off ramps on this so that if we find out it's not needed at some point, they can step it down.
Now, Gloria, we may be running out of time. I mean, you're right. It's been going very slow, and we may be running out of time in terms of, having fish left to protect. And remember, the ocean is for all of us. It's for swimmers and kayakers and sailors. It's for everybody. It's not just for the fishing industry.
But the fishing industry is saying, there are plenty of fish there, that the fish are not threatened, not endangered. Yes, there may be some stocks that have slipped, but they've been rebuilding them. So we're talking about people's livelihood during a down economic time. Is this the time to be doing that?
Well, Coastkeeper would argue that the fish are, we are not replenishing the fish as much as we need to, and that we need to take steps now to prevent overfishing so that we have a fishing industry and marine life going forward.
And why can't the fishing industry and the recreational fishing industry just fish in the unprotected areas?
Well, that's, of course, the argument. But what we have here, as you say, is sort of dueling PhDs with fish counts. And we can't interview the fish, so we really don't have a way to really gauge their behavior and how it might be impacted. I say move slow. They have moved slow. but be conditional, allow it to be changed, particularly off La Jolla, which, as you say, is not a big industry, but it's an important industry, and we have seen what has happened to our fishing industry here over the years. Maybe it's time to, cut them a break on regulation here.
But you're right. I mean, this is something we really can't see. It's not like we can look around and say, oh, there aren't enough fish in that area and there are too many over here. We really have to depend on the dueling PhDs.
Yes, and that's unfortunate.
Yeah, but the choice is the truth is everything has its season. So how likely is it that we might just see commercial fishing disappear from our area the way the tuna industry disappeared?
I think that's unlikely, given there wasn't anything like this in place when the tuna industry went out of business. And I think even the fishing proposal, which I think there's like 3 proposals, and there's one that's sort of labeled the fishing industry proposal and another that's labeled the environmental proposal, all of them are more restrictive than what we have now.
Okay.